Yo guys, Travis here, and this is our first look at the iPhone 15 and some accessories, as well as the new AirPods Pro 2nd generation that had the USB-C case. Thanks to Apple for sending the AirPods, the iPhone 15, and the clear case, and then we went ahead and bought a couple of other accessories to go ahead and check out. First things first, let's go ahead and start with the AirPods Pro 2nd generation. Now, truth be told, I haven't even used the original AirPods Pro 2nd generation, so coming from the 1st generation AirPods Pro, these are gonna be quite the upgrade, and then on top of that, we do have some new features in these updated models that include more dust resistance, as well as USB-C for charging to match the new iPhones, and support for lossless audio to the Apple Vision Pro that will be coming next year. So let's go ahead and crack these open. Of course, these are the new style Apple boxes that have no wrapping on the outside and just pull tabs. So we'll go ahead and pull those. And then we have the AirPods there. Let's go ahead and take a look in here. So we have our different ear tip sizes. We have a USB-C cable, which is awesome. Now that this USB-C venture has started, hopefully more of the Apple accessories will go USB-C, like the Mac accessories and hopefully the AirPods Max. So first things first, compared to the 1st generation, the case has a few more options. One being a lanyard slot, and then the speaker on the outside of the case, which allows you to find it. These do have built-in Find My, which is awesome because this case can go missing very easily. And then of course we have our AirPods Pro 2nd generation updated USB-C model in there. It's so weird to see USB-C on more accessories now because we're just so not used to that. Otherwise, the case feels the same level of plastic, and then these of course support wireless charging as well. And then this is a woven cable, which I just noticed right now. That is a very nice touch that this is a woven USB-C cable. Let's go ahead and unwrap this. I didn't even notice that. That's very cool. The last time I saw a woven cable was with the iMac keyboard, so it's been a little while. And then of course we have the extra ear tips. I usually use the ones that come on them, but you could do the ear tip fit test and it'll tell you if it creates a good enough seal for the noise cancellation, which is important because there are new noise cancellation features with the 2nd gen AirPods, as well as the features in iOS 17. And then lastly, we do have some documentation in here, getting started guide and some regulatory information. Nothing too much in there. So I'll go ahead and move these to the side. We'll do this clear MagSafe case next and save the phone for last. Same thing. In Apple's carbon neutral push, there is no plastic on the outside of any of these. See, I like this design a lot. The only thing is, it shows a lot of smudges and scratches. Honestly, I think this is the best way to show off the phone. If you don't use a case, obviously that's the best way to show off the phone, but if you wanna still protect the device and then have MagSafe-like features where the case connects to the device that way, this is awesome. So, you know, all these new colors, you'd be able to show off the phone nicely and still have access to all the ports. And it's a very nice and smooth plastic that you can do. So we'll go ahead and throw that on the phone. Let's go ahead and get to the phone. This is an iPhone 15 regular in green. Sizzle test? Oh wow. I actually like this green more than I thought I would. I usually go for more muted color iPhones because I usually get the Pro for myself, but this is very cool to check out the standard model phone. All right, so first things first, these edges definitely feel different, and this frosted glass looks really awesome. I didn't expect that to look like that. And then of course, all the way around the edges, you have the way the aluminum shines, and that kind of matches the way the camera modules look on the edges there. Definitely on the external, I'm a lot more surprised. And then of course, USB-C. It's been a long time coming, 2015 since Apple first introduced that in the 2015 MacBook. Let's see what else is in here. We have another USB-C braided cable. One thing to note is that these standard model iPhone 15s do not support USB 3.0, and this is a 2.0 cable that also comes with all of the Pro models. So the cable that's included is only really intended for charging, and if you're moving data, it's only gonna be at 2.0 speeds, especially for the standard model. But if you're gonna be buying a Pro, you're gonna need to get a 3.0 cable to get those faster transfer speeds. Otherwise, we have activation in here. Of course, this is a North America iPhone, so it does not have a SIM card tray, so you have to do eSIM, and it gives you that information there. And then we do have a singular Apple sticker there. And it looks like our phone booted up with iOS 17, which is awesome. So this is what this looks like. I really do like the dynamic island, so it's nice that that made its way to the standard model phones this year. And honestly, in the hand, I really like the feel of this. The frosted glass and the way the edges feel on this makes it very comfortable. And then if we toss this in that clear case, still obviously be able to see all the color. The green looks really nice. It's a very mint looking color, and this is very comfortable in the hand. Now, I do have a couple other accessories here that I wanted to check out, most notably the FineWoven case. Now, Apple has shipped leather in their cases for a very long time now, so this will be the first example of that new material. It's packaged like the leather, so these pop up, and it even has a similar design to the leather. I do have a leather case that we'll compare it to, but we went for the taupe to match the green. So we got a little bit of a pistachio or avocado combo going on right there. I do think this is a very complementary color combo here. All right, first things first. I didn't realize that the edges would be a little bit of a different material. So this kind of feels like leather, but it's obviously not leather. And then the back kind of has a suede feel to it. We were actually just talking about the console covers for the new Xbox Series X and that Alcantara type material. It almost feels like that to a degree, but it's very lightweight. On the edges is a little bit of a thicker material, so that feels like it's gonna protect the phone quite nicely. So we'll go ahead and pop this in, and that's what it looks like. Definitely feels nice in the hands, very slim and low profile. This does get the aesthetic across that this is a little bit of a higher end accessory compared to the silicone or even the clear case. I don't use a case on my phone personally, but I think that people will still like this. The only question I have is, will this stand the test of time over time with this suede-like material? I have a 13 Pro Max leather case here. The sides definitely kind of look similar, even though that the new case is not leather at all. And obviously the interior of this one had that same type of material, but on the back, of course, this is natural leather, it's real leather. So I'm sure the carbon impact and footprint across all of Apple's lineup of not having leather is gonna be quite significant. This actually feels really nice. Now, a couple accessories. Honestly, I thought this was funny. This is a USB-C to Lightning adapter. Now, at first, I'm like, why would you want that when we've been clamoring for USB-C for the longest time? And after I started thinking about it, this may be easier to adapt in some situations than replacing all the cables, especially if you have a standard iPhone 15 and you're not gonna have any speed advantages with getting 3.0 USB-C cables. Wow, this is actually also braided. I didn't know that. So all the cables going forward are braided, which is cool. So USB-C on one end, Lightning on the other. Of course, this adapter is very self-explanatory, but where this could be useful is in the car or at a business where all the cables are already wired up and you don't want to go through the hassle of re-cable managing a bunch of Lightning cables. This may be the easier route to go than running a bunch of new USB-C cables. You know, Apple's definitely known for the adapters and dongles, but I think this one could be useful depending on who uses it. And at first I kind of wrote it off, but I think it actually makes sense. And then lastly, we have some USB-C EarPods. Now, I know EarPods in the last couple years kind of had their TikTok comeback with everybody using the microphone on them. But one thing to note is that because these need a DAC in them, because there's no DAC in the phone, which is a digital to analog converter, these EarPods have that built in and technically support lossless audio because standard AirPods transmit over Bluetooth. Those do not. Man, it's been a minute since I've seen these in person. So traditional EarPods that we've known and loved since the iPhone 5. Of course, they have the original AirPods like look to them. So on the left side, we do have the inline controls as well as the microphone. And on the end, we have USB-C. Now, one thing also is that you could use this with any USB-C enabled device. So whether that be this iPhone or an iPad Pro that has USB-C, or even directly connected to a Mac that has USB-C, obviously plug that right in and go. I think these still have a place, especially when you don't want to throw down $249 for a pair of AirPods Pro. And you know, these are only $19 and definitely get the job done. They still sound pretty decent, and especially for someone that needs to make a lot of phone calls, it could be very useful to have this inline mic. All right, so that's all the accessories we have. We have the FineWoven iPhone case, as well as the USB-C to Lightning adapter, the wired EarPods with USB-C, and then of course, the AirPods Pro 2nd generation, this green iPhone 15, and that clear case. Lastly, I kind of wanted to just do a quick comparison. I have an iPhone 12 in blue here just to compare. Camera modules, obviously slightly different in terms of the arrangement on how it's stacked there and the glass surrounding it, and they do protrude a little bit further out. And then just feeling the beveled edges, the 12 has a lot harder of edges on the sides. And then of course on the bottom, we do have that USB-C connector. Now, as far as who would want a 15, I think anybody that's on, you know, a 10R or an iPhone 11 or even an iPhone 12 will get quite the upgrade going to a 15. But the guts are basically a rewrapped iPhone 14 Pro with some extra features. So I do have my 14 Pro Max here, and obviously there's quite the difference in size as well as materials. But in terms of build quality, this phone does hold up quite nicely. It's significantly lighter than the 14 Pro Max. I could definitely see myself using this in terms of the size. I would probably go for the Plus because I do like the larger display. But in terms of build quality and comparing it side by side, I do think the 15 actually feels really nice. I'm actually really digging this frosted glass. You know, in comparison to the older models with the glossy glass on the back, it just makes it so much easier to grip. So that's been my first look at the iPhone 15 as well as the AirPods Pro 2nd generation. I'm definitely gonna go in a deep dive in all of these new devices, especially the iPhone, the AirPods, and the 15 Pro Max, which I'll be getting for myself. Look for it on the channel in the next upcoming weeks for all of this content. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.